Free Jemimah or free whatever. That movie is a total waste of time. I'm sorry.
Alright, guys, you're welcome once again. And today I'll be reviewing the movie Free Jemimah by Maurice Sam. I'm sure a couple of you must have seen this movie because at the moment the movie is doing well over 2 million views. Even though critics and fans are saying that the movie doesn't make any sense, they're criticizing it for the makeup, they're criticizing it for the storyline, and basically this movie, according to them, is not well put together. But before we dive into that, if you've not seen the movie and you're interested, you can go and check it out on this page. But before you do that though, listen up. The movie is about a young man by name Owen who was played by Maurice Sam. He came back from abroad after his dad paid for his flight, paid for his education, paid for everything. He dropped out from school and came back and said he wanted to be a content creator. So on his arrival, he was already shouting W in the charts, and his guy, his friend, his sidekick basically, was recording him while he was screaming, jumping on the father's car, and basically just doing everything that people who do live streaming usually do. So at some point, the dad and his friend got angry at him and started questioning him what he wants to do with his life. He ignored his dad, telling him that he's already working and he's a content creator. At the same time, there's a lady who is a wife to a young man who is supposed to be a well-to-do man. But the lady is actually very local, to the point that when the man took her home to meet his brothers and his family people, she started screaming at the swimming pool, saying that, look at this fine river. That kind of pissed them off, but they didn't say anything. So actually they were not happy with the man for bringing back a very local woman to get married to. Now, this woman is being played by Sarah Martins. She did a good job to the best of her ability. You already know how she acts. But the problem now is that the makeup that they did for her when she went bald, because according to the story, immediately after the traditional marriage, the man died while sleeping. So it's assumed that she killed the man, but she didn't do that. Well, nobody knew that, so the village people and the community started beating her and they shaved her hair. In the process, she got home and started crying. Now, the part of the story that kind of became weird, in my own opinion, is where Maurice Sam and his friend got a car and drove down to this woman's house after this woman had just lost her husband. And they found their way into the house. The friend told him that this house belongs to a widow who just lost her husband and she's probably not around. But Maurice Sam, being the normal live stream, jovial, happy go fellow, he went into the house and then he started doing videos, streaming and telling people that he just got the house and that's where he's going to be doing a video. Who gave him access to the house? That's part of the story that just, blew my mind. At that point, I felt, what's this dude doing? But I guess these days, these are the kind of stories that work for YouTube, because if it wasn't working, a whole 2 million people won't be watching it. So they've seen the movie and they probably like the movie. And I guess the movie is fine in their own opinion. But critics are not happy. And some of the fans who, I'm sure you've seen the video, were not too happy with the video. Apparently, he went into the building, climbed up. I'm not going to tell you all the story, but he bumped into the owner of the house, or the woman who supposedly killed her husband. And he helped her, trying to apologize and all, then told her that he just wanted to do a video in her house. Nobody welcomed him in. And then all of a sudden, he started saying that he remembers the girl from somewhere. Now, if you're interested in this kind of story, go and check it out on his page. How he met the girl, if he knew the girl, and what happens with the girl after they shaved her hair. You'll find out all that and more when you go and check out the movie.
But this is my opinion. You see that movie? It's not supposed to make it to YouTube. Aesthetics, costume, video quality, storyline, everything is whack. What was that thing Osirian said? Without plenty makeup. If you don't want to add that thing, you'd have just cut it out from the storyline. If you cannot be able to go through with it. If you cannot cut your hair, you cannot barb your hair, then remove it. Exactly. And how did Maurice and his friend get into the widow's house? As in, from where to where? Guys, we should do better. In fact, Nollywood should do better. Really.
Okay, let's talk about Free Jemimah by Maurice Sam. If you've watched it, rate it on the comment section. If you've not, you can go to YouTube to go watch it if you want. Thank you. Share if to say na Asaba do this kind of thing now, people will start shouting Asaba hood, Asaba hood, Asaba hood, Asaba hood. Which wood is this now? Because which wood is this? Even though Asaba people say won't cut their hair for you, they go scrape their hair, you will see that they cut their hair. What makeup is this for crying out loud in 2026? There are lots of actors that will do this for you for free. Yes, just for you to give them the normal fee that every other actors get. The people that will do it for passion. Because tell me what in God's name is this makeup? You could clearly see that this is a wig, I mean, that this is a cap. I don't know what to call it. Because which kind of craft or work be this? Please, if you watch the film, rate it on the comment section because I lack word. I couldn't even finish it. Thank you and God bless you. I love you. Bye bye for now.
Problem with Nigeria is that everybody thinks they can do it. You understand? Now, everybody wants to be a producer. That's the problem. Because that thing that Maurice Sam did, I think it has to be a joke. It has to be a joke.
According to the gist, Maurice Sam was so touched by the response from his fans that he had to drop an apology note. He dropped it on his Instagram page and on his Facebook page yesterday. If you've not seen it, let me quickly read through it so you have an idea of how bad the situation really is. In my own opinion, I believe the movie is a success because if you're going to do a movie in less than a week, you would write, you would script this movie, you would shoot the movie, you would edit the movie, and then produce the whole thing in less than 2 weeks. I mean, the movies drop on his page like once every week. So if in a month he's doing 4 movies, sometimes 3 movies, what do you really expect? I've shot a movie before, so I know the challenges that are involved in getting a well-produced movie. Sometimes the editor would spend 2 to 3 weeks editing one movie, but how are they able to produce theirs, write scripts, edit, and shoot it out? And mind you, Maurice Sam is not an upcoming actor. So while all this thing is happening on his page, he's also getting contracts by other YouTubers producers, filmmakers who want him to be on their movie. So he will do that at the same time simultaneously appear on their movie. At what point do you expect him to settle down and produce something that is of that standard that you're hoping to get? People that are complaining, I totally understand their plight, but the thing is, the fans don't really care. They just want to see movies. Especially when they get to his page, they want something new every time they get there. And he's delivering. So if you don't like what you see, I think you guys should channel it to the right person. Who is the producer? Maurice Sam. A lot of people are saying he shouldn't have started producing, he should just focus on acting alone. Well, let me just read his apologies. You be the judge of it. Dearest Miss MS Addict, that's Maurice Sam's Addict. I have seen your feedback on Free Jemimah. And honestly, you are right to call out the issues. I missed the mark on some important details, and that's on me. I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch and speak up. Even when it wasn't positive, it shows you actually care about what I am putting out. And I don't take that lightly. I am taking this as a lesson, not a setback. I'm already working on improving the quality, tightening the details, and making sure the next releases hit the standard you expect and deserve. Stick with me. Better, stronger movies are coming. No excuses, just results. Maurice Sam. I appreciate him. I must commend him for being a bigger man to apologize, to actually acknowledge the fact that he did not put out quality content as regards this movie or subsequently. And he's hoping and planning to make amends. You guys should please forgive him. If you're his fan, please go check out his movie. And if you like what you've heard so far and you're curious to want to know what happened at the end of this movie, please go to his page and check it out. Until next time, please do me a favor, click like, subscribe, and drop a comment. This will really encourage me to keep doing this. Have a nice day. Bye.